Right now I'm getting everything packed up to go out for a solo day hike. So I thought I would share with you how I plan and pack for a day hike, particularly when I go alone. So stick around. One of the reasons that I wanted to do this video is I get a lot of questions about hiking alone. Not only that, when I'm out on my day hikes, I see a lot of other hikers not carrying packs, not carrying water, starting late in the day. And I thought this would be a good video to help those of you who would like to go out on a day hike, maybe and hike alone, to know how to plan, what you need to carry, things like that. And if you're new to hiking and just are unsure of what all is involved to go out to do a hike, it's easy to think that all you have to do is head out the door and onto a trail, but really there is a whole lot more involved. Just for safety purposes, you need to be prepared, especially if you're going to be going out hiking alone. So I thought I would share with you what I do to plan for my hikes and what I pack in my day pack. So let's get into it. The first thing I do when planning a day hike is to pick a trail. If you're nervous about hiking alone, be sure to stick around to the end of the video where I'll give you some tips to help you get past your fears and out for a solo hike. When deciding on a trail, I'll search online, as well as look on apps like AllTrails for places to hike. I take into consideration factors like how many miles I want to hike, how close the trail is to me, and whether I want to see a waterfall or a view. When I hike alone, I normally pick a trail that's either an out and back or a loop hike. I usually save point-to-point hikes for when I'm going with someone else. Now, if you want to do a point-to-point solo hike, you could either pay for a shuttle service to pick you up at the end of the trail and drop you off at the start of the trail, or you could do a key swap with another hiker. A key swap is where two people hike the same trail in different directions and meet up in the middle to swap keys. You can learn more about key swapping by doing a search on Google. Once I decide where to hike, I research as much as I can about the trail, including what the terrain will be like, whether there are any water crossings, if water sources are available, what's the elevation gain, loss, and the altitude, as well as the current trail conditions. I can usually find this information on trail navigation apps or the park's website. I'll also watch YouTube videos and read blogs to learn more about that particular trail. I always have a printed map when I hike. I look for a map of the trail that I can either purchase online, download and print, or pick up at a visitor center. I carry my printed map and compass in a plastic zip bag to protect it from getting wet. I will also download a digital map in whatever trail app I'm using so I can check my location while I'm hiking. It's a way to have peace of mind to make sure I haven't accidentally ventured off trail. Before planning gear and food, I always check the weather. This helps me know what to plan for, expect, and if I need to make any adjustments to what I'm carrying. I usually check the weather pretty frequently, even the night before my hike, just to make sure what the conditions will be. Even the best laid plans can go awry, so it's always good to have a backup hike just in case things don't go as planned. This helps me to make safer decisions and keeps me from getting frustrated if my plans have to change. I try to have at least a couple other trails that I can possibly hike just in case. On a day hike, I pretty much carry whatever food I want, but how much I carry depends on the trail I'm hiking. I'll usually carry enough food to have a lunch and a couple of snacks. Plus, I'll carry at least 1 or 2 extra bars or snacks. My lunch will vary, but I usually take some type of sandwich and fruit. I keep my sandwich in a reusable plastic container so it doesn't get squashed in my pack. Most of the time, I find cold food keeps for a few hours, but if you're doing a longer hike, particularly in warmer weather, you can use an insulated bag to help keep food cold. I recently got this insulated bag from Packet Gourmet. You can use it to not only rehydrate food, but keep food cold as well, especially if you add a small ice bag. You can make your own DIY cozy, but I've found that these don't seem to be quite as durable or last as long. I keep a gear list for each of the different types of hikes I do. I have one for day hiking in the summer and one for in the winter, as well as some for my backpacking trips. I make a list of all of the gear I carry on each of these hikes and use it as an easy reference to check off all the gear I need to bring, and it helps me not forget anything. You can find a link to all of my gear list in the video description. The type of pack you carry really depends on personal preference and the amount of gear you're carrying. I find any pack ranging between 18 to 36 liters is usually enough for a day hike. I have a couple of different packs, the Osprey Skimmer 30 liter and the Patagonia Refugio 26 liter. I like ones with multiple pockets to help me keep everything organized. On every day hike, I carry the 10 essentials. I've already done a separate video on this topic, so I'll link it in the description below. For this hike, I'm carrying gear for warmer weather. In cold weather, I carry additional layers and gear, and I've done a separate video on my winter setup, which I will link in the description. In the front zipper of my pack, I keep wet wipes, hand sanitizer, a roll of toilet paper in a plastic bag, a trowel, and my new favorite piece of gear, a urination device. On the outside of my pack, I also carry a cooler cloth. In the small mesh pocket that's in the front top compartment, I keep my headlamp and an extra set of batteries. In the small zipper pocket, I store peppermint oil, lip balm, my wallet, and sunscreen. This is also where I put my car key while I hike. In the front top compartment, I have my first aid kit, Gold Bond anti-chafe balm, a bug net, polarized sunglasses, my water filter, and a knife, although sometimes I carry this on me. The large back compartment has two interior pockets. One is for a hydration bladder, but I use it to store a rain poncho, which I also use as a pack cover, an emergency blanket, and my foam sit pad. In the other pocket, I keep the printed map of the trail I'm hiking and a Matador pocket blanket, which I sit on at lunch. In the large compartment, I carry a portable phone charger and a cord, an extra pair of socks, a rain jacket, and my lunch and snacks. On the front straps, I tie a handkerchief, which I use to wipe sweat, and on the other strap, I attach my Garmin using a carabiner. I carry two large drinks in each of the side mesh pockets. I'll either pack or wear a buff, and I wear a silicone band instead of my wedding rings. The night before my hike, I lay out the clothes I plan to wear and gather all the gear I'm taking and any extras I need, like a clean shirt for after my hike. I will go ahead and put everything in my car, including my hiking shoes, trekking poles, and extras like towels and clothes, so I'm less likely to leave anything behind. Although I do leave my pack out so I can add food and drinks the next morning. I also plug my Garmin into my computer to check for any updates and make sure it's synced and fully charged before my hike the next day. I like to carry a few extras in my car for after my hike, like towels, which help keep my seats clean and dry, a change of clothes, because nothing feels better than to change into a clean, dry shirt after a hike when I'm wet and dirty. I like having a cold drink waiting for me in my car in an insulated tumbler, but you can also carry a small cooler with canned or bottled drinks. I also have a pair of flip-flops so I can take off my sweaty, dirty socks and shoes and let my feet air out. I find this helps keep my feet from having blisters and being as sore. I use a plastic grocery bag to put my dirty shoes in to help keep my car clean. For safety reasons, you should always leave your plans with someone you trust, like a family member or friend. Before every hike, I send my husband a link to the trail I'm doing and leave a printed map if I have an extra one, as well as the phone number for the closest ranger station. I carry a Garmin inReach on the trail and use it to send him a quick text when I start the trail, when I have lunch, and when I finish. The day of my hike, I always like to get up early. I prefer to start my hikes as early in the morning as possible so I can catch a sunrise, see wildlife, and have plenty of daylight so I'm not pressed for time. This way I can enjoy my hike and I'm less likely to make mistakes or get injured. I start my morning with a cup of coffee. I eat a banana, take vitamin supplements which include B12, turmeric, vitamin E, and an allergy pill, and I wash it down with a protein shake. I use the Vade Nutrition protein powder pods because they're convenient and portable for hikes and backpacking trips. I add a scoop of Super Greens powder and almond milk to a Talenti jar and shake everything together. I fill my tumbler with a cold drink, grab my food and bottles from the fridge, wipe my phone and camera with a lens cleaner, and now I'm ready to head out for my hike. I usually wait until I get to the trailhead to put on my hiking shoes, and there I will spray myself with bug repellent. As promised, here are 10 tips to help you get out and hike alone. Tip 1, pick a trail you've already hiked. By hiking a trail you're already familiar with, you can have more confidence knowing what the trail will be like and what to expect, and this will hopefully give you a little less hesitation about hiking alone. Tip number 2, choose a more popular trail where you know others will be hiking. By hiking a popular trail, you will get the benefit of hiking alone, but you won't truly be completely alone, which can give you the confidence and security to feel a little safer on the trail. Tip number 3, pick a shorter hike. By choosing a shorter length hike, you can slowly acclimate to hiking alone without spending hours in the woods. Start out hiking alone on a 1-mile trail and work up to longer miles in increments by adding a mile to each of your hikes as you feel more confident. Tip number 4, research and understand trail safety, navigation, and what to do if you encounter wildlife, get injured, or get lost on the trail. One of the best ways to gain confidence hiking alone is to be prepared and knowledgeable about trail safety, how to use a map and compass, and what to do if something should happen during your hike. Knowledge is power, and you gain more confidence when you better understand your surroundings. Tip number 5, take classes and workshops on trail safety and navigation and any other topic which will help give you more confidence when you're out on the trail alone. REI has several classes and workshops throughout the year you can take to help you feel more confident and safe out on the trail. Tip number 6, carry protection. Invest in a satellite GPS device so you always have a way to communicate with someone or get help. You can also carry a knife, pepper spray, or anything that will help you feel safer hiking alone. Just be sure you know how to properly use each item. Tip number 7, carry your fears. Sometimes it's what we fear most that we need to get past to be able to solo hike. And the best way to do this is to literally carry that fear. If you're scared of getting lost, carry a map and compass and know how to properly use them. If bears scare you, be knowledgeable about bear safety. Carry bear spray and know how to use it. If you're worried about hypothermia or dehydration, then carry extra clothing and water. It's best to have a little heavier pack if it means you'll be safer. Tip number 8, watch videos. In the age of YouTube, you can now learn a lot more about a trail, and many hikers, including myself, give extra information about trails in their videos. Also, watching another hiker hike alone might help you get motivated and inspired to get out for a solo hike. Tip number 9, put safety first. Always err on the side of caution and don't take unnecessary risk. If a stream seems too dangerous to cross, then it's best to turn around. Avoid getting too close to the edge of cliffs or avoid venturing off trail. Be sure to follow your instincts, and if something feels off or unsafe, listen to your intuition. And tip 10, take your dog. Taking your pet hiking with you is a great way to feel safe while still essentially hiking alone. Just be sure to check that the trail you will be hiking allows dogs. Don't forget that most trails require pets to be on a leash, and don't forget to take food and water for your furry friend. All right, well, my bag is all packed. I'm ready to head out for my day hike. Hopefully this video was helpful for you. I will be doing another video pretty similar to this on how I plan for my solo backpacking trips. So if you are not subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell to get notifications of my new videos. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And until the next time, see you guys out on the trail. Bye.